Some people say youth is a grand and passionate journey, a devotion of pure enthusiasm and courage with no regard for gains or losses. To me, the most complete, tender, and blazing definition of youth is never merely endless studying and examinations, but my fearless dash toward a cold and quiet boy with all my brightness and sincerity, the long years of mutual healing and growing side by side with Zhang Lurong. I am Su Zai. Raised in a warm and loving family, I have always been passionate, open-hearted, sincere, and kind to the world. I smile freely, pursue dreams bravely, treat others honestly, and live as a little son who always brings warmth and light to everyone around me. The summer when I was 16 was gentle and long, with soft wind, floating clouds, and endless cicada chirps. The warm evening breeze carried the unique pure breath of youth and quietly rewrote my ordinary teenage life. It was my first early autumn at Jiangyi Yutsai High School. The bustling campus, noisy crowds, and hurried classmates were all unfamiliar and fresh. I once thought my high school days would be monotonous and repetitive, filled with nothing but exercises, exams, and trivial daily moments laughing and playing with my best friend Jiang Jia. Until I met Zhang Lurong, that clean, cold, and gentle teenager. From that moment on, my entire youth gained a clear direction, blazing background, and endless devotion. The first time I saw Zhang Lurong, I truly understood what love at first sight means. Amid the noisy and chaotic crowd where everyone was chatting and rushing about, he stood quietly alone in the corner, tall and upright, with clean eyebrows and a cold temperament. He disliked liveliness, preferred solitude, and seemed wrapped in a thin barrier isolating all worldly noise and bustle, quiet and lonely, yet unforgettable. In that instant, ripples spread uncontrollably in my heart. It was the simplest, purest teenage crush, no complicated calculation, no secular consideration, just pure affection that settled deeply in my heart and lasted for years. I used to live freely and casually, optimistic and carefree, letting everything happen naturally without obsession over anyone or anything. But after meeting Zhang Lurong, I gained unprecedented preference and perseverance. For the first time, I longed to take the initiative to approach, chase closely, and protect someone wholeheartedly. I knew he was introverted, sensitive, and taciturn, used to closing his heart and digesting emotions alone. Beneath his calm and distant appearance lay hidden inferiority, unease, grievance, and loneliness unknown to others. Growing up under the halo of his outstanding younger brother Lu Li, he was constantly compared, ignored, and underestimated. His efforts were never seen, his feelings never heard. With time passing, he learned silence, forbearance, and self-burden. Accustomed to solitude, compromise, and hiding his true desires, the world only saw Zhang Lurong's outstanding, calm, and aloof scholar appearance, praising his steadiness and excellence, yet no one truly walked into his heart to witness his timidity, anxiety, and loneliness. Everyone thought he was cold and inaccessible, but only I knew his indifference was armor for self-protection, his silence was forbearance from being unloved, and his distance was disguised to avoid disappointment. He was gentle, kind, delicate, and sincere at heart, soft and pure, yet no one took the patience to break through his disguise and favor him wholeheartedly. Therefore, I wanted to be that exception, the only one who runs toward him, warms him up, and lights up his world. I refused to let him stand alone in the corner forever, trapped in self-doubt and internal friction. With all my sincerity and passion, I approached him little by little, melting the ice in his heart and breaking down the walls he had built. I never feared awkwardness from taking the initiative, never cared about others' stares, never hesitated or flinched. If I liked someone, I would pursue them openly and protect them blatantly. This was my unique, passionate, and pure teenage courage. My pursuit was never blind and reckless, but sober, sincere, gentle, and firm mutual approach. I created accidental encounters, awkward yet earnest conversations, silently remembered his preferences and habits, accompanied him quietly when he was low, and affirmed him firmly when he doubted himself. I never judged him by secular standards or compared him with anyone else. I only told him repeatedly, Jean Laurent, you are wonderful. You are excellent. You deserve unconditional preference and all the gentleness in the world. I wanted him to understand that he never needed to live in others' shadows or please anyone, for he was dazzling, precious, and irreplaceable on his own. Many people think active pursuit from a girl is humble and reckless. Yet I have always believed teenage fondness is pure, open, and irrelevant to dignity. True love is never passive waiting or hesitant testing, but brave pursuit, sincere dedication, and wholehearted devotion. My initiative was never humble flattery or blind entanglement, but genuine admiration for his tenderness, recognition of his sincerity, and wholehearted preference for his purity. I warmed his coldness with my passion and healed his loneliness with my candor. My courage stemmed from sober perseverance, not impulse. My initiative embodied sincere affection, not cheap compromise. During this journey of pursuit, I never lost myself or neglected growth. I have always believed that the best love is never one-sided attachment and chasing, but walking side by side, accomplishing and growing together. While running toward him passionately, I also strove to catch up with his pace. Once casual and undisciplined with no clear goals for the future, I gained endless motivation to become better after meeting him. I longed to improve myself, stand at the same height as him, and head toward the same future. I abandoned my lazy habits, settled down to study diligently, improved my grades step by step, and refined myself constantly. I no longer wasted my youth aimlessly, but held clear goals and burning expectations, hoping to enter the same city and university as him, accompanying him through every season, and witnessing all the worldly scenery together. I finally understood that the coolest youth lies not in reckless indulgence, but in mutual pursuit and growth, illuminating each other and shining individually to become better versions of ourselves. In this long journey, I healed his loneliness, and he fulfilled my growth in return. My sunshine-like passion gradually dispelled the haze in his heart, allowing him to lower his guard, remove his disguise, open his heart bravely, express his emotions frankly, accept preference calmly, and embrace life fearlessly. Once cold, taciturn, and introverted, he gradually became gentle, cheerful, and smiling, learning to respond actively, take initiative in devotion, and embrace his own excellence and radiance. Meanwhile, his steadfast self-discipline, gentle determination, and inner perseverance influenced, motivated, and accomplished me profoundly. He helped me shed childish casualness and become steadfast, diligent, sober, and clear-sighted. He taught me to behave steadily, treat others tenderly, live earnestly, and strive wholeheartedly, transforming me from a naive and unrestrained girl into a determined, confident, and aspiring youth with clear goals and persistent passions. We never wasted our youth or neglected our studies because of affection. Instead, we became better individuals and embraced a brighter future because of each other. This is the most precious, healing, and lasting love in youth. Mutual devotion, accomplishment, and growth. Youth is never only about heartbeat and affection, but also about loyal friendship and warm mortal fireworks. I was fortunate to have Jiang Jia, my lifelong best friend who understands my crush, accompanies my perseverance, guards my purity, and witnesses all my growth. I was also blessed to meet the righteous and gentle Gu Ran, witnessing his sweet love story with Jiang Jia. Bickering rivals turned loyal lovers with mutual hidden affection and happy endings. The four of us laughed, played, advanced side by side, supported each other, endured tedious exam days together, and walked through blazing teenage years, becoming the exclusive warmth and precious memory in each other's youth. I have seen all of Jean Laurent's hidden sides, his cold detachment, inner tenderness, inferior vulnerability, smiling gentleness, restrained emotions, and sincere devotion. I understand all his weaknesses and tenderness, comprehend all his forbearance and hardships. Therefore, I never expected grand and exaggerated preference from him, only hoping for his lifelong peace, smoothness, and eternal brightness. I cared not for worldly gossip, unknown hardships ahead or hesitation on the journey, for as long as the destination was him. All pursuit was meaningful and all persistence worthwhile. My greatest fortune was not finally gaining his love and companionship, but retaining our original hearts and pure sincerity throughout the journey. I remained passionate, candid, and kind. He stayed gentle, pure, and sincere. We were never trapped by adolescent impulse or consumed by youthful affection, but healed, supported, and fulfilled each other constantly. I gradually cured his long-term sensitivity and inferiority, making him realize he deserved all the preference and tenderness in the world. He firmly upheld my original aspiration, teaching me that bravery, sincerity, and persistent passion are always the most beautiful features of youth. Young love is the purest and most touching, free of worldly calculation, utilitarianism, and intrigue. It is simply and purely seeing someone, liking someone, running towards someone, and accompanying someone for a lifetime. I love Jean Laurent, his cold tenderness, pure kindness, quiet perseverance, and inner firmness. I love the tenderness hidden in his silence, the preference concealed in his restraint, and the sincerity embodied in every detail. Though taciturn and unromantic with few sweet words, his love always resides in details and actions, gentle, steady, consistent, and everlasting. He silently remembers all my preferences, tolerates my petty tempers and clumsiness patiently, encourages me gently when I feel confused and slack, stays by my side whenever I need company, and captures and comforts my subtle emotions that others ignore. He never disappoints my sincerity or betrays my preference, responding to my passion little by little with his unique restrained tenderness, dedicating all his gentleness and exclusive affection only to me. His love is unassuming, quiet, and unexaggerated, yet sufficiently stable, lasting and healing, warming my entire youth and amazing the rest of my life. Through this journey, I finally comprehend the true meaning of youth and passion. Youth is not fleeting bustle or momentary infatuation, but wholehearted growth, mutual tender devotion, and persistent sincerity. Love is never humble flattery, blind pursuit, or self-consumption, but my sincere dash toward you and your gentle response to me, illuminating and advancing side by side as mutual reliance and redemption. I once thought I was pursuing you unilaterally, yet I gradually realized love has always been mutual. While I ran toward you passionately, you were also walking firmly toward me, lowering your guard, opening your heart, and responding sincerely, dedicating all your tenderness and truth to my youth alone. What I run toward is never merely a cold and gentle teenager, but my blazing youth, endless passion, and infinite expectation. I pursue sincerity, bravery, purity, growth, and the most genuine teenage perseverance. The wind at 16 was soft, the heartbeat pure, the pursuit passionate, and we were sincere, brave, passionate, and youthful. We never wasted our youth, betrayed our love, or let each other down. At the finest age, we met the most worthy person, possessed the most healing love, and harvested the most fulfilling growth and ending. For the rest of my life, seasons will cycle, winds will cross mountains, and love will last forever. I remain the passionate, candid, and sincere Su Zai, always brave, genuine, loving, and positive. Beside me forever stands Jean Laurent, the boy I healed and who healed me in return. Growing out of youthful ignorance and settling into gentle steadiness, we continue advancing side by side and fulfilling each other. We will walk through all seasons, witness mortal fireworks, experience worldly ups and downs, transform teenage heartbeat into lifelong stability, youthful affection into perennial tenderness, and passionate pursuit into lifelong perfection. The finest youth lies in holding passion and daring to pursue. The sweetest love lies in mutual healing and growth. The best future lies in lifelong companionship and peace. With youth as the preface, passion as the boat, and sincerity as the sail, I run toward you without hesitation. From then on, mountains and seas are bridged, years are gentle, and life is perfect. This is my youth, the grand, tender, sincere, and exclusive journey belonging only to Zhang Lurong and me.